fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you go ahead and type the number 1 in the chat box, let me know that you can. I would greatly, and I do mean greatly, appreciate it. Good afternoon, Brenda. Hey, Jim, morning. Morning, I'm waiting for an evening somewhere. Morning, Robert. Hey, Daniel, good to see you, sir. How are you, Erica? Morning, Helen. Hey, Kevin, good afternoon. Love the energy. I appreciate it. Sarah, Paul, Larry from Chicago. I love Chicago, Larry. Ain't nothing like that deep dish pizza. Robert K is from there. He knows. We've had multiple dinners at the deep dish places there. Just to make me happy, Robert K said, good evening. Okay. Brenda said, so am I. Yeah, I'm going to reach out to CBOE at some point and see if we can't get back in there and teach. I don't know what they're doing right now as far as letting people in, but we'll see. Montreal is the best for hockey. Okay, there you go, Gillies. Bring my swimsuit. I bet, Karen, it's a little hot there in Tucson, right? Brenda's in Ohio. Got it. Okay, awesome. Well, talk to me, folks. How have your trades gone so far today? Let me know how you've done. Daniel said, doing good, made 27% ROI this morning on the SPY. Excellent. I'm telling you, if you're not doing it, you need to look at the SPY every single day. Every day. It's wonderful. Good for you, Daniel. How about everybody else? We got a lot of people in here right now. Talk to me and let me know how you're doing. Oh, I sing horrible. I'm very good if I sing solo. Solo, you can't hear me. That's the best. Adobe went against you. All right, Gillies. No trades yet, Sarah said. All right, that's cool. But I had the SPY. All right, Gillies, there you go. Up on AMC and BBBY. Was Lawrence. Excellent. So tonight in Trading You, I'm teaching the Trading You event this evening. I'm going to talk about how to go ahead and trade the GameStops, the AMCs, all of the Reddit type stocks. What to be looking for? How do you know it's time to trade them? What types of trades to take? We're going to go through that tonight. If you can't be in Trading You this evening, you're registered, but you can't be there. Don't worry, we record it, so you'll get to check it out as well. Paula said stopped out from Uber. Suzanne said SPY profit also. Good, Suzanne. Missed other entries with computer difficulties. Suzanne, we're having all kinds of nutty computer difficulties right now in the office. I'm running off my laptop instead of off our camera system. My trade navigator is giving me a hard time on giving me the streaming. TradeStation wouldn't allow me to open an options chain up. I had to shut that down and reopen it again. Windows said my password's expired. Who the heck ever heard of that? I didn't put a date on it. Hey, Voodoo. How are you, Michael? No trades outside of the rut. Condor. Been busy the last couple of weeks. Been light on trading. There you go. Listen, that's what it's all about. You do it it's a lifestyle. It isn't a job. SPY did great on a put trade. I got in a call trade on NEO on Friday morning. Nice in my favor. Yeah, I got in my naked puts on Friday on GameStop, on AMC, and I did a diagonal Friday on MGM. All doing fantastic. Facebook is ripping. Yeah, Karen, I'm loving Facebook. I really am. We got stopped out of it last week, barely, but we got stopped out. You know, all stops are hard stop. So we got stopped out of it, and we got an order to get back in again. So we'll see. Solar flares may be crazy. Yep, I get it, Suzanne. Yeah, I don't think it's a cyber attack. I mean, they can attack my little laptop if they want. Do you refer Trade Navigator even if I work with TOS? Gillies, I use TradeStation and have for years, probably will to the day I die unless they dramatically change something. And I've used Trade Navigator almost as long. I'll never give it up. I know why I had a problem with it. It's my real time that's not working because we've just switched over to our brand new, or are switching over to our brand new version, which is Omega Charts. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, it shows Omega Charts. Different splash screen. We've got a new indicator set that's been added inside. And I don't have the real-time data. They didn't switch the real-time data over when they switched over the licensing for me. So when we're done, I just have to call them and get them to turn that back on. It'll probably take a couple of hours and we'll be good to go. So I'm not too worried about it. But yes, Gillies, to me, I think it's important that you use both, right? I love the ability to work with this offline. I don't need an internet connection. So when I'm on an airplane, this works phenomenal for me. I can transfer all of my lines and my settings to here, which I did last night. So all of my lines from all my charts are on this, from the markets, from every equity that I look at, everything. You can set it up with a broker. I have mine set up in real time. Again, just the switch over kind of messed me up a little bit with it. But the scanning and filtering that's on here, you could do some of that stuff in TAS and TradeStation, but it's a fairly easy process to do right here. I mean, so simple. You know, if you, yeah, I'll share, but yes, I'll go back and we'll look at it, Gillies. But yeah, I do think it's important to have them both. All right, so we've got coming up tonight, Trading You. Inner Circle is this Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I've got a couple of things happening over the next few weeks as well. Mastermind Group is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. And then, of course, here we are, Power Hour. Make sure you are registered for the upcoming Coaches Corner this Friday. I know we're getting real good feedback from you guys. And Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini Think Tank, all on the regularly scheduled program. They're all set as normal for this week. Right, here is our followers page. Please do, and thank you. Right, seems to be the way I'm saying it to everybody lately. Thank you for subscribing if you do, and if you don't, please do subscribe to these. Leave some comments, download the podcast. We're getting great feedback from our podcast company on how many downloads we're getting. Wonderful, just outstanding. I'm very excited about it. For a fairly new podcast, we're doing well with it. So life is good there. And that's it. All right, so we talked about in the email we sent you guys out today, and the topic that we set up out on YouTube was all about how do we trade the GameStops? How do we trade the AMCs? What are we looking at? What did we actually call it? Sean, what was the exact name we gave it? For GameStop, AMC, what do we put in email today? I would check my email, but my flipping email isn't working either because Microsoft wants a new password. GME and AMC explosion, how to trade them. How do you get the podcast on a computer and it's not a handheld device? You go to the Apple Podcast, you go to the Google Podcast, you go to iTunes, Spotify. Sean's talking to my ear over here. And just you download it from there. I use an app called Castbox, C-A-S-T box. I go on my computer. I'm logged in on there and I'm able to download them automatically. So they're on my computer, they're on my phone all the time. So this way I never have to worry that I want to listen to something and it's not available. Although I don't really listen to myself. I probably should download my own podcast, but I recorded it, so I know what it says. All right. So let's look at, here, let me take us over to Trade the Station. GameStop. Holy mackerel. Now be careful, earnings coming up shortly on GameStop in the next couple of days. I think the 9th is when it's scheduled for, right? But I am so far out of the money. My options, I'll buy them back before the day is over probably. I sold them for, I want to say 40 to 50 cents on Friday. Yeah, it was late on Friday. It was after 3 o'clock when I sold them. 40 to 50 cents, I think it was. My guess is right about now that we're bupkis with the move that we've just made, which has been phenomenal. So here you've got GameStop, great move today. AMC, really nice move as well today. You know, not as high priced as GameStop is, but I don't need it to be, right? Are these going to continue? Are they going to take off? Are they going to fail? Yes, they absolutely are. Thank you, Robert. GameStop is on 6.9 after the market closes. right? So there may be a great opportunity to do a chicken trade, a strangle on the market, depending on what the value of the options are, how expensive they are. That may be a great opportunity, maybe even selling a strangle, way out of the money on both sides. Because I don't really see GameStop going crazy to the upside and jumping up by $100 or $200, although it could drop $100. But their earnings are not a surprise. The GameStop, AMC came out the other day and said, "Don't buy us. We're not a good buy," and people are buying it anyway. It's that short squeeze that they're going after, trying to hurt these big institutions. It's the little guy fighting back, right? It's the American Revolution, waving the flag and, just fighting the big armies from the ditches and hiding and so forth. That's what's happening here. We're fighting the big revolution here against the big institutions, the big brokerage houses out there, trading firms out there, right? So when we look at these positions, guys, you've got to be careful, right? If we go back and look at a daily chart of GameStop, right? Let's get some of that craziness off of the screen. There we go. You look at what's happened on GameStop, going from $150 or so, moving itself all the way up above 275 last week. It's back down a little bit. Today, it's up another $25. So back to that 275-ish level, right? All of it is great and fine and good, right? But trying to time out a call option in here, unless you are day trading and hyper focused on it, is tough. To put a swing trade on and say, well, I knew that right here we were going to get that big move up, and I knew I should hold one more day because someone told me it's going to gap tomorrow morning. Really? You knew that was going to happen, or you guessed? It feels like a good trade in your gut, in your belly, right? Wrong trade, wrong time, got lucky. Nothing wrong with getting lucky. These people that say, I bought a house off of Bitcoin. You didn't buy a house off Bitcoin because you were smart enough to say, ooh, Bitcoin, I know it's going up for this reason. It was craziness that drove it up. This is craziness that's driving this up. There's no fundamentals. There's no technical behind it. It's a group of individuals that are fighting a good fight, right? And trying to pounce on Wall Street. To me, the overnight trade comes in as selling a naked put. That's where I'm the biggest fan of this right here. If we look right now, and again, GameStop, if you are a newer trader, I'm going to caution you into anything on GameStop right now until, let's see, until the earnings come out. All right, so here we go to GameStop. I don't know why that looked like that. Okay. So you got earnings, options that are in 4 days, the expiration. We're going to go to all, right? And before I pick a strike price, here's what I want to do. Look at where we came from. Before all of this craziness happened, we were vacillating between about 185 on the high side and 140 on the low side. Okay? So 140 to 180, we'll call it close enough. So if I could ideally sell a put at that 140 level or lower, I'd be very excited about that. Oh, okay, good, Sean. That's great. So let's go take a look at the option chain. Now let's go find that 140, and look at this. You got $10 increments way back here because it's so far out of the realm now. And here we start getting into the $1 increments. All right, as we get closer to the at the money. So if I can go down to the 140 for this week, the 140s are trading at 32 by 43. I can get them for 38 cents. I could pick up on this. And I'm obligated if the stock gets down below 140. Now, again, caution, because of the earnings that are coming out. I want to be very clear that if you are not skilled at trading this, then you need to focus on waiting for the earnings to pass before doing it. All right. So let's go and look at AMC. AMC has been a great one. AMC showed up on a Monday, so over a weekend, showed up on Cover Call Explorer. Stock was trading at, I think, $12.90. Let's see right there. That was a Monday. Friday, Monday, right there. Okay. So we're looking for a small move to the upside. Closing price here was actually 12.08. 12.08 was our price. The next day it moved up. Rob sells a naked put. 2 days later, the naked put is about worthless. Right? Boom. Explosion. And I have sold naked puts ever since. Right? Multiple in a week, actually, at times on these. I love the setup. I love the trade. I love doing them on stocks like this. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. You are potentially obligated. Right? If it goes against you, there is a risk that you'll deal with. All right, Sean. Okay, so let's look at an option chain that, well, let's go back and say, all right, in a great world, if it was perfect here, I would be doing this below that $12 level in a perfect world. We may not get that to take place on AMC. We may have to go a little bit higher than that. Let's see what happens on AMC. So I can't, for this week, I can't get down that far. It's absolutely impossible, right? But then again, you know, with an $8 move today, I'm not surprised, right? So ideally, you want to look at a delta of about a 20 or less is what you're looking for. Now, that isn't a regular naked put. This is different. I want to try to stay as far away from the current price as I possibly can. If you're good with 20 cents, 23 cents, 22 cents. If you're good with 22 cents, you can sell the 25s. There's 4 days left. You're half the value of where the market's at right now. Don't look at it as, well, Rob, there's such a great cost there. You know, such a low amount of money in there. Do I really want to bother doing this? And you got to ask yourself this instead. It is not the dollar amount that you are pulling in. That's not what you should be looking at. What you need to focus on is not the dollar amount, it is the rate of return. I'm trying to get to the website. Just minimize this, that might help. Zoom just likes to be in the front of everything on the screen. Test. You guys okay? Is everybody hear me all right? We just switch microphones over. I just want to make sure you do. All right. So if you come over to the trading resources on the website area, scroll down under calculators, you go to naked puts, right? Stock symbol, we're going to put in AMC. Stock price, I've got to go back and take a look. AMC is 56.41. 56.41. Got to put 4 decimals in there. Right? Expiration date, we got to drop down. It is this Friday. Strike price we said was 25. You need the 2 zeros. We just tab over. Premium received was, I don't remember. Let's see. On the 25, we were saying 22 cents is the premium we would pick up. 0022. 5 days till expiration, $14 and 10 cents is the cash required. 1.56% rate of return, 6.24% for a month. So again, we've got 4 days left in the month. You've had huge move already. We're trying to just say, if we can get 25 bucks, 25%. But the question you've got to ask yourself is, are you okay with 6% for the month? If your answer is no, then AMC is not for you. I will tell you that I do an AMC trade right now at least once, if not twice or 3 times a week. For me is AMC. I am all over this setup. I like it very much for them. But you've got to have the right premiums. What I did last week is almost completely expired. I got 6% for the week. I did it on Friday, and it was 6% is what I picked up for a week's amount of time, 1 week. All right, fantastico. Let's see. I got to open that chat back up. Let's see, I missed a couple of them here. All right. So James said, sell to open a naked put and buy to open a put to cover yourself in case the stock is put to you, or just sell to open and hope the stock doesn't get put to you. You can do it either way, Jim. I do it as a naked put. Right now, it's all naked puts for me. All right. Thanks on the sound stuff, guys. We're trying. Does the naked put calculator work for futures also? It's not going to take into account the way a futures is calculated, Sarah. Certainly won't do it for as far as margin goes. Yes, Robert, that was the 11th, the June 11th options. You got it, Jim. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I'm a fan of AMC. I'm a fan of GameStop right now. Listen, we want to take advantage of those. Tonight, I'll give you a whole list of stocks that are fitting into the same short squeeze that GameStop and AMC fall into. Yeah, it would be too easy. Exactly, Sarah. There's too much in a futures calculator. There's too much to have to know by symbol. And then as the futures markets change margin, we'd have to keep going back in and changing it there. It would be a lot of work for us to do it that way. But, I mean, concept is good. BBBY was good, Karen said. Yeah. Yep. So, guys, listen, is this going to continue? I don't know. I really don't know. Do I care? If it stops, it stops. If it goes, it goes. I'm okay either way, but I'm going to ride that train as long as I can. I'm going to listen for the stock market bell to ring. Right? I'm going to ride the trade as long as I can. I'm going to take advantage of every single trade that I can get my hands on that are trades like this. See, I wish as a newer trader when I first started that someone had really shoved down my throat cash flow. They didn't. It was chasing the home runs. All the time I'm trying to get that big trade, the huge money. Right. Grab the money train, Robert. Exactly. Like my bell, Pat? So they didn't. And had somebody told me that, I would be so much further ahead than where I am today. With the ups and downs, the wins, the losses, make a big trade, give a lot back. You know, cash flow, it's consistent. It's over and over and over and over and over again. I just moved a good amount more of cash into our brokerage account. I've got another 2 weeks. Another 2 weeks. We're increasing our portfolio by about 25% ish. Yeah, about 25% ish. We're adding another cash deposit to the account, to our TradeStation account. Guys, this is what it's all about. You know, and for me, a lot of it is cash flow. I don't have a lot of time. Listen, I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to be a good steward at our church. I'm trying to take care of my family, and I'm trying to run a business at the same time, right? So something's got to give, and family, church, they're not giving, right? So it's going to be the finance stuff is where it's going to give. So if I cannot sit in front of a computer and set a trade up, walk away, come back at the end of the week, and I'll get notified, I'll get a text if something goes wrong, right? And I get notified about it, come back at the end of the week, it's expired, they took it away from me, it cost me a little bit. I don't have to chase after it and spend a lot of time. I can do this without being in front of the computer most of the day. John said, thanks for the AMC naked put at 26 for 27 cents. There you go. Love cash flow strategies. Exactly, John. That's why Covered Call Explorer is such a huge, huge, huge piece of what I do. It is the subscription that we talk about the least here as a company. It's, for me, the smallest subscription that I have as a company. But it's probably the one that should have some of the most people in it. Even if you're doing other stuff, guys, I don't stop trading swing trades. I don't stop day trading. I am looking at those as a type of trade. But I also don't just, I love pizza, but I don't eat it every day, 3 meals a day. Chocolate maybe, but not pizza, right? I need something else for dinner once in a while too. All right? Homemade pasta with my wife's sauce, whatever. You guys get where I'm coming from. It's no different here. I need different trades, different tools in the tool belt, whatever you want to call it, different recipes that you can pull out when you need them. And right now, I don't want to have just one thing. Right? I want to do multiple trade setups that bring me different premiums, different results of what I'm trying to do. Robert said, how many do you sell per order to make a decent profit? I make the same percent, Robert, regardless of how many I sell. That's why I said you've got to look at, if you're looking at it saying I can get 20 cents, is it worth it for 20 bucks? Probably not. But it's still, in this case, smaller right now. But I got 5 or 6% last week. If I only did one contract, I still made 5% for a week. That's the way I look at it. That part of my money that was on hold, which the nice thing on a naked put could be an existing stock that I've already written a covered call on, so I could use that money twice. Without paying any margin on it, I could use that money twice. But you're all right. You've got to look at that and say, is it worth my time and effort for the amount that I'm taking in? Yeah, Jim said AMC's implied volatility is in the 400s. Is it good to sell those? Remember, Jim, we're not utilizing a standard rule. A standard rule here would say, let's go ahead and sell that 20 delta, right? Not higher, but 20 or lower. Here, I'm looking at, if we go to GameStop, well, actually, let's see. I think we still got AMC up, right? We do. We've got a delta of 25, right? We have a delta of 2, Jim. That delta, well, you guys tell me, what does that delta tell us? That delta of negative 0.02, what does that mean? And I know there are plenty of you that I have taught this to that know exactly what that means. What does it mean? If I have a delta of negative 2, right? Think about it. Michael, with the Russell, right? How much does that benefit you with the way we choose our strike prices? So Paul said, will expire in the money. I know where you're going with it, Paul. I'm going to leave it open for a minute. Jim said, for every dollar that moves down, the option will move up 2 cents. There you go. Robert is, and Paul, you're right on the exact right place. 2% chance of being in the money at expiration day. I have a 2% chance of being wrong in this trade. Sean, we got to get a picture of that Purple Jet commercial I shared with you guys with the head exploding. Purple Jet. If you guys haven't looked it up, go look that company up, Purple Jet, and look at their commercials. When they're blown away and their heads explode and this purple dust comes out their head, right? That's what this thing with Delta, with 2%, should be doing to you right now. Saying, oh my God, 98% chance if I do 100 trades, I'm going to be right on 98 of them, barring news, right? Earnings are coming out. Mr. Miyagi, best block? No, be there. Just get out of the way. Just get out of the way. Right? And when I asked Michael about how this works with Rut, he's, oh yeah, absolutely. Guys, it's understanding the competition, the traders that you're trading against, the market makers. It's understanding the market at hand. It's understanding what tool or what trade setup you should be using to try to capitalize on what the market's doing or what you're trying to accomplish. That's it. That's it. You don't bring an English book to history, right? Or maybe you do. I don't know. I didn't really go to history, so I don't know. but I didn't really go to many classes except shop. But that's a whole different story. All right, what do you guys think? Like it, don't like it? Give me 1 for yes, a 2 for no, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Amy's all set to hit eject, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, goodness. All right. What about if it's an English history class? Ah, Robert, good point. Robert, I said I just sold some of them. And I'm not telling anybody to sell them. It has to fit your risk profile, guys. It can't be. I used to teach credit spreads back in early 2000s with a company that I taught for. At their event, I teach credit spreads as basically the last thing on day 2. And I would show you the entry. I'd go through some of the rules, and someone would come up to me almost every event and say, okay, now what? What do you mean now what? Well, what do I do? What do you mean, what do you do? Well, I just did that trade. I said, you did it as paper trade the way I told you to, right? No, heck, you said you liked it. I did it with real money. Did you understand it? God, no. I just saw this for the first time, but you put real money in it. You do know my phone number doesn't come with the workshop, right? When we're done here today, we're done. It's got to fit your risk profile. If you're okay taking on that risk and understanding what a naked put represents and what could potentially happen to you, that's great. Then you go for it. Don't take it just because I talk about it. Never. I go right through that in the disclaimer, is it's got to fit your risk profile. Everything is for educational purposes. All right. Okay. So lots of ones came through there. That's good. All right. So let's do this. Where are we getting on? We're just past 12:30. Let's take a quick look-see at what the market's doing right now. It's easier to do this. When we look at a daily chart on the S&P 500, just chugging along. Wonderful. Wonderful. But look where we are again right now. Actually, watch. Oops. Let's close that down. That's just going to mess with me. Might as well shut that off since we're really not using it. All right. And I don't have the real time on here. So as I said, it's not working for me today. We pushed our head up against this 42.37 level, which is the negative 136. It's near the all-time high. It's near the all-time closing high. Everything kind of coming to fruition right there. This is a pressure cooker beyond the point of pressure cooker, right? We keep banging our head against there. Traders want to break it. Even if it's just for a moment, and there is going to be somebody, I believe, that's going to test and try to push above that all-time high and step back and go, ooh, let me see what happens. Right? So if we go back, and I just want to show you because all of the lines up there. If we go back and look right now, 42.18 is where we're sitting right now. Right? 42.18 on price. Right? So overall, bumping our head where had been before, where the previous highs were. All right, we're on a daily chart. Make sure. There we go. That's better. Just didn't look like there was enough space there. So S&P overall doing okay. Let's see. NASDAQ, and when I say okay, we're down 11 points, but we're in a good position. Right? NASDAQ is up 17, and the Dow is down about 140. So again, we're in this flip-flop of NASDAQ versus S&P and or Dow. Barry said, did you say to choose a delta of less than 20 or less than 2? I thought you originally said 20. So what I said, Barry, was when we trade naked puts, 20 is the standard for the delta of what the strike price are going to sell. But we're not standard on these positions. I want to do this on positions, hence who we're dealing with right now, the AMC, the GameStops of the world. I want to do this with a very low delta. We're at a delta of 2. Debbie said, how did you get those to show on top of TradeStation and 3 indexes? Debbie, it's wacky because I got forced into using this version here. I don't have it at home yet. But when you see position graph, put your mouse over it and you get a drop-down menu. Now, it says you can pin it or hide it, or I don't know what else to do. I hit something before and lost things, so I'm not sure. I'm afraid to do it and get caught. Right? If I want to trade, I've got that. If I want to find my apps, they're all right here, right? But that's where you get them. I would prefer this to be open and in the corner here so I always see it. Drives me nuts that they made those changes and you don't have some of those things back. Robert said, with multiple monitors, I could put your charts on the left monitor and your camera on the right monitor. So when you look to your right, it looks like you're looking at my charts on my monitor. Okay, Robert, there you go. You're welcome, Barry. All right. So let's go take a look at some candidates. What do you want to see? And we're going to have to look at them twice, guys, because I'm going to go to TradeStation first because that's where all my lines are. I mean, Omega charts. Trip, good to see you, my friend. Micron, MU. Let's get a little bigger picture. A little too big. There we go. So I don't know where it is right now. 82.91. Let's see. Actually, let's do this. I don't know how to split just those two, so we're going to do it manually. All right, MU. Perfect. But it's not the one I want. Let's get a 5-minute chart of this so we can see from an intraday standpoint what it's actually doing. Okay. So it looks like it's right back to where it was, Trip, from the other day, from Friday's close. So right now the setup is, if I had a choice, I'd rather have the bearish move on this. If I had my druthers, let me just get rid of these bars. The yellow one's fine. I'd rather have the bearish move down to 81 and then 78.38 would be the two downside targets. All right. I hope that helps. Well, we got a lot of symbols in there. Neo. All right. So we moved into a bullish bias in the last couple of days. Not a true bull. The 8 is above the 55, but the 21 is still too far down for us. But today's move has been phenomenal. If you're looking for an opportunity to enter, we haven't been back to the 8 on the daily chart, which is the one on the left. So you might have looked for a pullback to the 5 intraday. And even that we probably didn't get. But we did have a nice continuation today and a nice breakout to the upside. Right now, I'm looking at 44.40 as my first resistance, and we're at 43.70. So we don't have a whole lot of room to go on it right now. If you're in it, awesome. If we can get through that 44.5 level, I'd look for 48.25 as my next target to the upside. Hope that was helpful. Jim? Roman, good to see you, sir. Let's try this. Do an S first. Netflix. All right, there we go. So we wanted the tracking sheet from Power Option Plays. Bearish below 493.5 aggressive. All right, so we're in, Roman. We're in. Where was the opening price today? 493.76. We got in right about the open today, right? So our target is 479 is our support. So our target is up above that, probably about $3 or so. So 481-ish is what we're looking for. So another $10 for our first exit on Netflix. Amazon. All right, so Amazon, bearish below 3204, aggressive. All right, so yowza, we took a big move down. So we're at 31.97.5 would have been our entry, all right? And right now we're at 31.91.5. So about $6 in our favor so far on this trade. Right, so on Amazon, we're looking at 31.28 as support. Probably going to be about $5 or so off of that as our target. So I hope that helps, Roman. Tesla. John was the first one to ask for Tesla. I don't know how I got Labu. There we go. We don't have a trade. We had it as a day trade, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's just day trade. All right. So we got a gap down to the 583, 590 level right here. We got a gap down to there. It failed a little bit further and then bounced. So we're looking at support was at 584. Resistance was at about 600. So if you took the bounce off of this, the 584 level, you're looking at about 600 as resistance. I'm not excited about it, John. Moving averages are in the right order. So that's great. That's phenomenal. But I just don't have a lot of room. This is a sit here like this and wait to get out of this trade. So it doesn't suit me anyway for my risk to have to watch it. Now you could set alarms up and stops and all that good stuff in there, but I like it to have a little bit more wiggle room than what we've got. But that's where it is. I mean, right now, to the downside is 549, and to the upside, 584, and the upside is 619. All right, Michael is asking for SoFi. So SoFi Technologies. All right. So we had a nice pullback to the moving average there. And just ugly with the move up and the fast slam down this morning, which brought us down about 2030, which was... You may remember the hotkey to toggle on and off the data on the end there on Trade Nav. As I'm flipping back and forth between the two programs, I must have hit a key by mistake. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Flag, no, space. F. There we go. Thank you. I saw somebody typed it in there also, but all right. So now I just want to be able to see where the 2030 is. So we got down to about here from this daily chart. I love the pullback. Actually, on this, draw a fib. All right, so we're sitting at the 382. Yesterday, we took our bounce, 2113. 2240 is resistance. 21 is support. and it's confluence of the 8 moving average. Michael's asking for LMT. I don't know what's giving me such a hard time. All right, triple top, 395, 394 half level. When we look at it from an intraday standpoint, LMT, it's falling down. So look at that 387 as our target. We've given so much of it up already today, Michael. It's tough. 387 is your first target. 379 is your second one. Nice confluence at both. You've got 8 and a 21 at the 387, and you've got at the 379 and the 55. Beyond Meat. That was our trade of the day today. I just didn't get the picture, the snap of it quick enough to get in here today. But we did a debit spread on it today. Beyond Meat. There we go. So 148 is resistance. We're at 155. So we broke above that. And it looks like 162 is our next target on the upside for Beyond Meat. That I can't see who's asking the question. Let me see. I wish there was a way I could modify the Zoom chat. It's Robert. Okay. Hope that's helpful, Robert. CAL. Don't know who these guys are. Haven't traded them before. Right now, I'd look at about 28 bucks, 28 and a half at best is my resistance. We're at 27. Nice pullback after that run up today. It is lunchtime, of course, but resistance about 28 and a half, Paula, on CAL. Debbie's asking for Alcoa. They're on our covered call list this week. So nice pullback on them. They're 37.75. Let's see. So we broke through the confluence of the 8 moving average. I need to close Debbie back above the 38.82 before I'm interested in doing anything on this one at all. And then 42 and a half is my resistance. ExxonMobil. Yuck. You know, Debbie, be careful with these lower highs that we're getting in here. We're not done yet. You know, I don't know where this resolves, but if today is an indication we're down 61.11, we've had a little bit of a pullback. That may be a high with a lower high with a lower high. So be a little cautious there. Bottom's holding. So that descending triangle setting up in there. But, you know, if you're looking to target upside, I'd be looking at about that 63 3/4 level to the upside. All right, let me try to move this around a little bit. Mike's asking for WDC, Western Digital. Good run in the last couple of weeks, except today. We're down at 76. Let me see. I see I've got a fib set up on here. Oh, yeah, that's still good. Let's drag that out. All right, so we're looking at about 79 bucks, Mike, as resistance and 77 as support. We're already down at 76. So we've broken through the the fib line, but the moving average is at 75 and 3/4 or so. So that may lend itself as a support level, but caution. Jim said, Neo, yes. In it, yes, it was. Thank you. Welcome. Let's see here. Brenda's asking for QQQ, the other white meat. Used to be SPY was the only one that had the 3-time-a-week options. Now Q's do also. So Friday we closed nicely at 334. We failed a little bit here today and have come back. Let's see something. Okay, so pull that out. There we go. So right now, to the downside, Brenda, we're looking at the 332.5, which is the 8 moving average. On the upside, 342. All right, so we're looking at $10, 334. All right, we don't need a fib in here. That's what I wanted to check, Brenda. So 342 is our upside, 334 is support. Give me a retest and a bounce, and which is what it did today, and that's the entry. So hopefully you took advantage of it. Amy is asking for BB. Give me a second. Let me get rid of that. All right, who's holy mackerel? Oh, Blackbird. Okay. Let's draw a fib. It can go away as fast as it comes. Look at that. Ran from 8 to 20, and now it's back down to 14. Well, as of yesterday, 1578 right now. So we got about that 1541 level, Amy, on this. If we close here, retest that 15 half level and bounce tomorrow, 17 quarters where I'm looking at. On the downside, look at 14. Guys, I'm trying to keep up with all the comments in here. There's still 35 questions that I haven't gotten to, or tickers or whatever. Wayne, I'm just going to pick the first one. Mara. Waiting for server data. Wow. Server is down. No, that's the 1 o'clock candle, so that's right. Okay, not sure. So, oy vey. So on Mara, you know, caution is an understatement. I mean, it's definitely bearish. I would want to maximize this chart to get a better view of what we're looking at there. Holy flipping mackerel. If we put a fib from here down, all right. So it looks like 21.25 is our support, 28.5. That can't be right. Let's see. 21 to 28. No, it's not. We need to split that level in half. We need a negative 136. That's better. So we're bumping our head right now. Who had that one out there? Wayne, we're bumping our head right now at that 2440 level, but 2480 is that pivot. So to me, in an ideal world, we'd close right where it is now and fail tomorrow, and we're looking at that 21.25. And that's when I say that's to my choice, because the moving average is in the right order for bearish. Roman said, I got in on the open and now I am 75,000 profit on Netflix. Same thing on Amazon, 200 underwater. Okay. That's how long it's been since I've been able to see it. A lot of thank yous in here for what we just went through. Let's see. Sarah said, I feel like Brenda and I should get together and compare notes since she always wants the Qs and I always want NQ. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any futures set up on this trade station here, Sarah. So sorry about that. I don't think it's going to let me have it. Let's see. That's NQ. Oh, it did transfer over. Okay. So let's maximize this. NQ is the NASDAQ. This is 5 minute. You can see it's been chopped. It's a tough day. You get this kind of choppy movement. It's a hard trading day with that. Let's go back to a daily chart. We'll just get a little bigger picture. Overall good. Here's our recent highs, all-time highs right up in here, right? But it is formed here. Let's max it. It's a daily chart. So the high's up in here, but it's forming a new base or resistance level or a pressure cooker, for those of you that were from the E-mini think tank, to take a look at. Yeah, BB is a ready candidate. Yep. Thanks, Amos. Yeah, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. No more Friday on Benzinga, guys. I will be Thursday morning at 9:30. So market open. Excellent, Michael. Appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are about wrapping this one up. For those of you that have an interest, Amy, can you drop a link in there for Trade Navigator? I never went through it in the beginning today. Guys, we're about to switch over from Trade Navigator to Omega Charts. If you're on the fence on Trade Navigator, you want to get it now, because once it does switch, the price goes up, right? When it does switch, you will automatically be upgraded into Omega Charts if you have Trade Navigator through us. So don't worry about that. We'll take care of everything on the back end. We'll make sure it all transfers over, and we'll be good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we'll leave the room open a couple of minutes so you can grab that link. With that, you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, and I will see all of you at our next update. Bye for now, folks.